Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. You are tuning into the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Spiritual Insight Show with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman.
Well, hello, and it's not just me, it is a Reverend Lee Chapin as well. Welcome to the Spiritual Insight, and this is the special Reactivating Peace series that we are doing together. And so just want to give everyone a chance to come in, say welcome and hello, and welcome spring. Wow, spring. Woohoo!
Yes, finally. Hooray!
I know, yay! Hello, Melissa. Hello, Teresa. Hello. We have Maureen watching on Rumble. So whether you're watching live on Rumble or watching on YouTube, thank you so much for participating this evening with us. Hello, Ruth. And so we're really excited to be with everyone this evening. And reactivating peace. This is something that we must do on a daily basis now. This is, right, Reverend Lee? This is a state of being, a consciousness that we need to really embrace.
It's really crucial because there's just so much chaos going on in the world, and we talked about before, so much fear and so much confusion, and it's really important to center yourself and ground yourself in whatever ways that you're able to do that to remain as peaceful as you possibly can. Because I've always said, do you want to be a part of the problem or do you want to be a part of the solution? And as you merge into the vibration of peace, you can be of greater service.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very well said, stated. Woohoo! All right, so we've does everyone take a deep breath that's coming in? I know today the energy's just been, I think, wackadoodle. I think that's just how it's going to be from now on. So let's just everyone take a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale nice and deep, and this is the 432 hertz tuning fork. So let's just everyone, I want you to really feel this in your sacred heart center. And take deep breaths in and exhale. And just let go of anything, any tension, anything, stress, fear, anxiety. We're just going to let it all go, just wash off of us as it's falling away. Just visualizing liquid golden white light just showering over us like we're in this golden white liquid waterfall. And it's just rinsing away anything that's not for our highest and greatest, getting us back into our divine alignment. All right. Here we go. All right. Well, hello, Tammy, thank you so much. Hello, Marsha, Feng Shui My Space. We have a lot of beautiful, powerful light workers in this sacred circle with us this evening, and we're really grateful for all of you to be joining. Again, this is so much needed at this time, and messages all day. Well, I'm sure we get this all the time. Is just to remember that we need to stay focused on that divine light and that peace within ourselves. It's very important because we're going to have people, let's just say this, outside of us, still in that, as that 3D is falling away, and we're collectively in the fourth dimension, but there's still that duality in that lower part of the fourth dimension because it's very vast. So there's still that duality. There's still that those in the third dimension, that low vibration, know that they've lost, that they're losing, and so it makes them fight even more. And then what we're going to find is outside of us, you don't know who to really, I don't want to say trust, or who to listen to, because anything that still creates separation, it's good if you want to hear some different opinions about things, or different yeah, that's what it is really, is opinions or different ideas, theories, whatever. That's fine, but just let it, everything that you collect outside of you, any information, run it through the filters of the inside. Say, how does this feel? Does this feel like this is for my highest and greatest? If not, then that's fine. Sometimes, though, the information, we like to just hold it in our mind, and then we connect the dots that way too. But just always, always through your sacred heart center, and know that those that truly care about you would not ask you to do anything that would harm you and disrespect you. And so, and the same thing is that you should treat others that way too. The golden rule, really, Reverend Lee, the golden rule, that's the thing that the rule that we were taught on how, when we were young, to live. And it's still true to this day, isn't it?
It is indeed. It is. I was going to say that as you rang the tuning fork, I could feel the fairy energies coming in. I could feel the elementals, because it's the first day of spring equinox. And I literally saw the fairies coming in with excitement of like their little wands, and they were sprinkling fairy dust and peace over all of us and over on the earth. So it was so special to be able to feel their energy. It's given me goosebumps. And so for those who are really connected to the fairy realm and here in this first day of spring, to invite them to come into your life to reactivate peace within you. Because when we think of fairies, we think of peaceful, innocent, pure beings. And that's a part of reactivating peace within us and on the earth, is returning back to the innocence and the purity of our soul. And so I don't know if you saw that as well, Reverend Tiffany, but that's what I saw coming in, just these sparkles of light that was just filtering down on the earth and on all of us. So that was fun.
Oh yes, it was most definitely. I love the fairy sparkles and the fairy dust. Most definitely love that. And yeah, oh yes, I get to experience that a lot. But I'm sure many of you are experiencing some sort of light activity. So to pay attention to that, whether you're catching out the peripheral vision, the side where we're seeing more, we really, really are. And just want to say hello, Joan, and thank you so much, Tammy. I call her Tammy because, and it's not to disrespect her name, Tamara. It's adding a Y to your name. Actually, it vibrates differently, higher. and so her vibration, if you ever talk to somebody and it's like, I want to call you something else. I have this feeling like I want to call you something else, and it's not being disrespectful to your name, but it's because you want to call them something that matches their vibration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so no disrespect to who named her, none whatsoever. And so just honoring her high vibration. That's what it is. So that's her, and I know this, and I'm just explaining to everyone else. So anyway, because I'm called a Tammy. So thank you so much for your donation, Tammy. And hello, Wendy. Good evening. So thank you, everyone, coming into this circle. And so yes. Oh goodness, it had so much stuff. You are allowed to call me Tammy. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. That's so funny. I love it. And that's good. We need to laugh. We need to laugh, be jolly, be just, find humor in things right now, and keep raising that vibration. And so Does anybody have like any special things that they do, seasonally, and maybe even to peace, though, I feel really is significance for us in a spiritual uh, way as well, because it does represent like what rebirth, and we've come through the darkness of winter, and now we are all the seeds that were planted, everything is starting to, come through the earth soil and pop up. Like here we have the crocuses are out, which there you go, that's it, the first things to push through the ground, and so we're really excited about that. But does anyone have any special things that you do, those of you that are watching, because we're very interactive here? Hello, Robin. You're sitting there with Tammy. That's great. That's wonderful. So I wanted to know if anyone has anything special, and you honor, this earth and this beautiful biosphere, this beautiful planet, and so if you've done anything or anything different, do you do it every day? It's so I know I went out this morning and did my normal blessing, but it was with a spring twist. And I'll have to tell you, I love how nature responds, and nature does respond for paying attention. I love how the birds respond to you, the squirrels, just nature, and even the wind blowing um, so gently, like to, because when I'm thinking all the elements and I'm naming them out, and when I say the wind, there's a gentle breeze out of just comes, and it's like thank you, it's like acknowledging it, acknowledging the blessing, and it's very beautiful, because this is what we need to remember, is that we are all connected, all of us, all nature beings, human beings, animal beings, celestial beings. We are all one, and it's very important to focus on that.
I was going to ask some of the viewers who have listened to the show when we did this 2 weeks ago,
yes. Mm-hmm.
if we talked about activating the crystalline grid. I was wondering if any of the viewers were feeling more peaceful within themselves. And so if those who are listening could maybe send a message back to Tiffany, if they felt a shift or a change in their community or within themselves, because we talked about activating that crystalline kingdom and bringing peace into our homes, into our community, into our essence. And so I was really wondering if people really had resonated with that or really felt that deep within them yet, if that they were really feeling this energy.
Yes, just go ahead, and those watching, put that in the comments. Respond right now. And this is something that establishing the crystalline, connecting with that crystalline grid, it was something we should be doing on a daily basis as well. And it's very, very powerful. But how do you feel from 2 weeks ago when we first started this Reactivating Peace series? How do you feel? Have you been, when we did that work 2 weeks ago, how have you felt since then? Do you feel different, better? Have you been working on the crystalline, setting these foundations for the crystalline cities? And so, I am feeling more peaceful, says Wendy. Very good. I am feeling more peaceful. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's it. Yes. Because we have the crystalline structure. It's in our DNA. It's in our divinity. It's in our DNA. And it's beautiful. The crystalline, the light, white, whatever. There's been different terms to kind of describe, though, these beautiful cities that are communities that, we actually are building right now, divine blueprint wise. We are working on this. Even if you can't see it in the physical yet, we are creating it. And so just even within and outside, as far as in the upper vibrations of that divine blueprint. The plans have already been made. That crystalline grid has been established. And so then we are building upon that crystalline grid and that foundation. Right? All of us, I know, are doing work and planting these more crystalline pillars, beams of light. So let's see what Joan says. Yes, Lee, it's like I'm just not worried about life anymore, but just constantly thinking calm and peace and joy all the time. That's wonderful, Joan. Yes. Yes, that's it exactly. That's it. And it's not that we are ignorant of anything that's going on. We are aware. We completely aware, and we're also not going to let anything that's low vibrational bring us down. No, we're not going to do that. so that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
It's important to be able to, as Spirit always says, to be in the world but not of it. To be able to be an attached observer. I talk about that a lot with a lot of my clients, learning to be a detached observer where you're not energetically affected by the lower vibrations that are happening, out in the world or even within yourself. Just begin to shift that energy and to shift the vibration within you to the best of your ability with this new vibration of peace so that you can stay calm and you can stay centered and you can be of greater service. Because if we're in an agitated state, then we can't really be of service to someone else. But we are the calming effect. That's the point of lights. That's the pillar of lights that we are all reactivating within ourselves as powerful conduits of peace and love and harmony for this planet. Again, we are the change we wish to see, and it just begins with ourselves first. So I'm excited that people are feeling it. Thank you, Joan. And I know, Tiffany, that you're really sensitive to, the vibration of the earth. And so I don't know what you're feeling in, your particular community.
Yes. Let me just read one comment before we get to that. So Marsha, Feng Shui My Space, she walks her little dog Gracie in her stroller around the church grounds. They're so full of trees and birds and nature. It's so peaceful. She does this every morning the last few weeks, except for, of course, the Sunday where it's really busy. But she's peaceful all day. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Yes, enjoying the nature. So, connecting with, and I know many of us here do a lot of powerful work, and it could be different, it could be similar, and it doesn't matter because there's no comparison because we all are equals here. Okay, sitting in the sacred circle, we're all equals, and even our celestial loved ones who are coming and guiding us, and they remind daily in conversation, we're all equal here. No one's better than anyone else. We're all equal. And that's important just to remember that. For some reason they want me, because I feel a lot of you too might be getting contacted by these celestial guardians, and you might they don't want to scare you. Don't be fearful, but they would never have any control over you. This is you should know, feel, does this feel right, does this not feel right? But they are contacting and connecting the light workers, reaching out and saying, hey, I'm here, we're here. It's actually we. They don't, because they work together in circles. Always, it's together, it's a togetherness, it's a oneness. So they've always said we. I've never heard them say I, and I think I would have some caution if there was one that said I and I work alone. Let that be a red flag. Okay, just pay attention. It's always a we, because we're doing this together. This is how, right? So somebody needed to hear that, so there you go. Okay, so am I feeling anything different? I really, in the community, here's the interesting thing is that The lighter things are getting lighter. The heavier things are getting heavier. And you've just got to let that be. Because we all have a neighbor or two that is fighting everything. Let's just say that. And that may cause problems that's we can't change anybody. We really can't. But don't let that stop. I constantly am sending love and light and gratitude to this ground. And it's interesting you said that. You asked me that, Lee, because this morning, and there's neighbors behind us that kind of give us they don't like that I feed the birds because the birds poop on their car.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So anyway, it's just I was sending.
I thought that was a blessing.
Right. Yes, but they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. Birds are blessing the area over there. But it's so funny because they're just as like nature can tell. Animals don't see property lines, right? Nature doesn't see property lines. They don't see any of that. We don't own anything. We're guardians. We're supposed to be, caregivers of the places that we're in and live in gratitude and harmony with it, not try to dominate it and just, so anyway. So I was sending love and light because, the neighbor walks out and he has a grumpy aura and it's like, woo, you can feel. So it's like, I'm just going to keep pumping it. Well, I actually saw because I was wondering, well, is this even working? Because I can feel it everywhere else and I can feel it even go beyond. I can feel it to the neighbors past them. But is it working there? And so as I was connecting we have a huge, it's a Yew tree in our yard. And as I'm connecting heart to heart with the heart of this tree being, and I'm like, is this even working? And they're showing me that love energy, right, going above the property and then under in the ground. And so it put them in a bubble. It's going all around. And so they've put themselves in that low frequency bubble. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And they're like, it's free will in someone's personal space. I was like, true, yes. And so they have themselves shut off. So they won't feel it until they decide they want to feel love and light. They've just put up this negative field around themselves. But so all the trees on that property feel the love because it's underneath, right? Root system. So they're like the nature in that area feels the love. It's just the bubble around them in their home. And I'm like, oh, anything man-made. Like, so that's their home in them. So I was like, oh, so because it does work. Don't anyone be discouraged. Keep shining brightly. And it's I want you to try this too. I've been doing this and it's so intense. But I'm looking at the sun this morning. Okay, you don't stare. You're not supposed to stare at it. No one stare at the sun. But I'm looking at the sun and we have more than one sun, and there's multiple suns now, which because we can see some see it white, some see it yellow, some see different colors. Now there's different rays coming through, or we call a sun. They're telling me there's multiple suns now, but we can't see because it's all shining around the same area. Okay. So I'm looking at them and I was like, oh, I'm so grateful, blessings of love and gratitude to you, the magnificent suns. And I'm closing my eyes and I was like, oh, I see you. I feel you. And breathe that in and exhale it. And oh, beautiful light show. beautiful light show, a whole bunch of rainbow rays, the sparkles, like he's talking about, the little fairy lights, everything. The birds started to sing a little bit, a different song when that was happening. And then I could feel the sun, I could feel the trees, I could feel the bushes, the ground, everything. And it was just so, they're all joining in with the I see you, I feel you. And that's powerful. It's beyond words. It's just so beautiful. Try it if you haven't. And just the thing is that we don't even have to be outside if the weather's not nice. You can stand inside and visualize being outside. Stand near a window where the sunlight's coming through and try that. Or, even if there's no sun, because I've done it on cloudy days. And close the eyes and I visualize, I know the sun's always out. It's just there's clouds in front, right? And so I was like, I know you're behind those clouds. I still feel you. And then it's like, whoosh, you see the light with your eyes closed. You see the light. And it's a way of acknowledging the blessing and the gratitude. What being doesn't love that attention, right? We all like it. We all love that. So try it. It's beautiful.
Spirit has shown me that if people are open to doing this, to place quartz crystals around their home outside, because there's new light codes that are being infused upon the planet this time, and especially Sarah, Ascended Master Sarah's white ray and her violet ray. Pam has actually captured some of these pictures and sent them on to me in her sacred walks, in her sacred journey walk. And she was feeling that was the energy of Sarah. As you were speaking about the property and the property lines, I was seeing each of us placing just small quartz crystals on the four corners of a side of our home to activate the energy into the earth, to keep our home balanced and centered, and keep our frequencies as high as possible within our own homes. That the energies from the new Grail codes will be downloaded into the crystals and will provide not only safety but balance to your home, to yourself, and to that area. And then I see it just radiating out into the community of peace, and infusing these powerful light rays, again, of Sarah's innocence and purity and balance. Balance is so, so needed. And so that's, I don't know if you're able to tap into that, Tiffany, but that's what, as you were speaking, I was seeing that. So I'm going to just place some small little crystals. Don't have to be real big.
And that's, I started with the four corners, and now at every window, because we have an old home, so thank God they put windows on all directions. All right, so they don't have to be big. Mm-hmm. I have amethyst and quartz crystal in every window, and I always like the threes. So I'll have 2 amethyst, 1 quartz, 2 quartz, 1 amethyst, and they are like this. The pillars, right, that stand up. They can be various sizes, but they just have to fit in, on your windowsill or on the window, however you want to do that windowsill. And the amethyst and clear quartz can absolutely handle sunlight. It's fine. I haven't had any amethyst fade. And like some people say, oh, it will fade. I'm like, I don't know. But it really light it up. Hang up. There's quartz, the prisms that you hit the window, that you can hang in the window hangers. And so it's like when the sun really shines, it's like a light show in here. In every room, you can see all the rainbows, prisms, the light, and it's so pretty. But it's that is important, because that just shows that it is going out in all directions too. Mm-hmm. Where we are shining inside and pushing it out, those are like antennas that just amplify in all directions too. But I just, I started putting more crystals in the beginning of this year. I just felt like get our crystal grids in our homes ready, or even more amped up. Let's say that amped up. Let's amp it up even more. And because it's that crystalline energy. And that helps our chakras. It helps the activation of our DNA strands, the ones that are dormant but that are awakening. It is reactivating. And so it helps with all of these when these frequencies are coming in. I find that having this many crystals actually helps to as they're coming into our physical being, it comes in with grace and ease. So we're able to handle these activations or reactivations much easier, because if we were trying to fight it, and most people, you may say, okay, I don't feel good, I got to go lay down. Then they'll put you down. So you'll go to sleep and accept the activation at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us, we'll bring in this light and we'll let it shine through us with grace and ease. I also love every day, very, very important, the affirmations, the I am affirmations. And I'll do this when I light candles too, 'cause the fire, the Christ I am. But I love, Reverend Lees, I say this all the time. I am what I am. I am what I am. I am what I am.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, so powerful. Don't you get goosebumps? Y'all do that.
When I do it, I can really feel it. I can feel it really activating within me. I can really, touching my nose, you're itching my nose, but I can really feel it when I call that into my heart. I can really feel my power. I can feel the master within me beginning to awaken.
Yes.
So they were showing me also when we were talking about the crystals that is activating our pineal glands even further. And so we, again, may have more downloads of information coming into our dream state and activating our frequencies and allowing us to, again, emerge with our I am presence. Mm-hmm. So don't be alarmed if you have more visions or your dream states become more active.
Oh, yes.
Allowing your own chakra system and your physical system, your energetic system to really be realigned or reactivated, your crystalline light body just getting lighter and lighter and lighter, becoming more brilliant, because this is really what these new light codes are about. The work that I'm doing with Sarah's book and the light rays, she's bringing these powerful frequencies in, and it's important for us to be mindful about the frequencies, but we will receive them if we ask to bring them in gently to us, but potently, but very gently, so we're not overly affected by them, because sometimes people can get overloaded. I know when people are not able to feel these frequencies, or not feel them, but to receive them fully, like you said, they get tired, or they get exhausted, or somehow they might have a physical symptom. So if we can call these energies in gently, peacefully into our system, so that we're not affected, so that we can continue to integrate these energies within us in a gentle and peaceful way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And it helps us activating our Merkaba, which is our personal, how they describe it, our personal spaceship to our our light body, to our 12D body, our 12D shield, we call it. So what they've been showing me when I've been outside and doing this is I'm seeing this then, because it's always, I always make this symbol, interestingly. So I was out there one of the times. They started doing this, I think a month or so ago, because I've actually done this type of breathing meditation on one of my shows. So I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was then when they came to me and they were showing me as I was breathing in and out and doing these breathing exercises. And they were showing that how important it is. Now, I've seen some chakra charts. Most people say, like, for the lower, our first chakra, our root chakra, how it's connected. The root chakra is connected down into the ground. And so they were showing me, they're like, no, we're not anchored like that. So just keep in mind for a minute with this stick figure, because this is going to also be very, there's a reason I'm drawing it this way. So we have the stick figure person here, right? And so our chakras, and we know the root chakras here. And I've heard some people say you anchor it in like there's a cord that goes down into the earth underground to the earth star, to the earth's chakra, right? Well, they showed me, no, there's not straight lines of energy. Do I see straight lines of energy? I was like, no. They're like, no. And we can see this in archaeology. Using nature's energy, horseshoe, root chakra right here. One leg, the other leg. This is why we need to feel the earth energy coming up through the roots of our feet, going up both legs, meeting in that root chakra. And then a lot of people call it the Kundalini energies, where they intertwine and going up that way. But this right here is a magnet shape. Magnet. Ever wonder why a lot of the archaeological buildings in art, why they build this arch is because it's a magnet, positive and negative, feeding off of the earth's energy. So we have the earth's energy coming up through. I always want you to feel it from your feet all the way up your legs, connecting into your root chakra. And as it's coming up into your heart, at the same time, coming down into your crown. Okay, because now I made my pen not work. I don't have a space pen. Pen didn't like to be upside down. Okay, so, but as it's coming up, let the heart chakra be like the center point here. There we go. Heart chakra. Heart. So we feel it coming up. And at the same time, we have the energies from the stars coming down. All right, from the upper vibrations, the upper dimensions, the upper frequencies coming down. And then they meet in the heart chakra. So what I also saw then was the symbol for the feminine. The chalice is the upside down pyramid. And they show me then that the pyramid, the masculine, are coming from the stars. And so visualize this as you're breathing this in, these two images coming together. So it's coming down and going up. And then when it meets in the heart, wow, it really does not like to be upside down. And then when it meets in the heart center, we have that. I'm sorry for my very crude drawing. You can see that. And then you see this. This is that, whether it's called the Star of David, the Merkaba right here. And that instantly takes you within yourself, takes you right to your higher self. Mm-hmm. Creates that 12D shield around you. You're protected and you go. So what I'm talking about is we take a deep breath in. We're going to feel it coming up from the bottoms of our feet and up here at the same time. And then when it gets here, hold it. Hold your breath for 3 seconds, because you want that lightning energy to go through your whole body. You want your cells to enjoy this holy lightning rod. And then exhale. And then you're exhaling out in all directions. You may feel dizzy because it's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. Look, it's heating me up. It's a lot of power. But it works. It feels good. Try it. And see how, give me some feedback. Let me know how that feels with you guys. We could do it. If you wanted to try it in a couple of minutes, we could do that too. But just, we are energetic beings. We are energetic beings. We are energetic beings. Does this look familiar? This is what the Atlantean Ankh actually look like. Mm-hmm. Look like a tuning fork, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We are a tuning fork. Look at that, legs, arms. Look at that, our head. Hello. So we are that tuning fork. And how do we get into alignment? How do we receive an attunement? Is by bringing the energies in. They're both important from underneath and above. So, sorry for my stick figure drawing, but that's the whole point of trying to show you what I'm seeing and what they're showing me. It's like, okay. Oh, there you go. Is there anything you want to add, Reverend Lee? I need some more water.
I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to add in this moment. I know that I've shared with those that I work with of really connecting with the earth and how important it is to stay grounded, especially during these times, again, with these new light codes coming in. And for those of you who know that I'm working on Sarah's book, her frequency is extremely powerful. And I'm just feeling this, like we talked about before, I'm feeling this sense of balance and peace. And your little stick figure is like this, all about integrating into our bodies. So that's a beautiful visual for us to be able to connect this energy as above, so below.
Yes. Yes. All right, I'm going to put a link in here. Tomorrow morning, let me see if it'll take the whole thing. Most Mondays at 11 a.m., you have your Mary Magdalene's Mystical Teachings of Enlightenment. And
I do. And tomorrow's
register. So
I was going to say tomorrow's a special day.
Yes, tomorrow is a very special day. Would you let me just say it? Don't ruin it. No, I'm kidding. Let me spoil you. Tomorrow is our very dear Reverend Lee's 29th anniversary of channeling the Mary Magdalene teachings, right?
Well, I first started channeling a being named Grand 29 years ago. And once a year on my channeling anniversary, which is March 21st of every year, I started channeling in 1993, I bring Grand forth. So tomorrow he gets his once a year opportunity to speak to my Mary Magdalene group. So I'm so excited. So he always has a special message. So he's going to be a part of that. We can certainly put that out on my YouTube channel, and maybe send that link to you somehow. You can send it out to your folks as well, as they're not connected to my YouTube channels. But I'm really excited because every year I get to speak to Grand, who was and is my first guide that I started working with. So I'm a versatile channel. I work with many beings, but Grand worked with me primarily for 4 years, and I have great love and devotion for this spiritual being who shook my life up and changed it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Woohoo, that's wonderful. So I did put the link. We want you to, this is a teleconference, as you call in, but we want you to register. You go register through Reverend Lee's website. Just, if you haven't done so before, those who participate, you already have, you know all that information. But for those of you who would like to join in, you really should join in. And listen, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. So be sure to check out one of those. If you can't tomorrow, just keep that in mind. Okay. So, you're welcome, Robin. Trust me, you will not regret it. These are very powerful. I love her work. I love her channeling. You just, we all are powerful light workers in our own right, but we all have to come together and receive as well, right? The giving and the receiving is a beautiful energy exchange, and we all have something to share with each other. So, yes, yay!
So thank you for announcing that. Yes, that's it's always a delightful time to be able to work with Grand again. So it's a great honor. I was totally shocked when that first transmission came forward and changed my life. And you never know what's going to happen. So just everyone stay open, stay connected, and welcome the miracles in your life.
Exactly. Yes.
And especially as we're reactivating the peace within us, then it helps us, again, to open up our pineal glands to awaken to the ancient wisdom that we've held and carry, so that we're moving out, again, out of a space of chaos or our lower vibrational frequencies and distractions, so that we can be centered, be grounded, and receive the information that we need to receive. So you never really know what's going to happen to you, because like I said, 29 years ago, I had no idea that I would be channeling spirit in this way and doing the work that I did, but it was life-changing and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So stay open, reactivate your own personal grid so that you can bring forth the work that you're called to do in this incarnation.
And we're grateful because you're one of the best things that happened to us. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, thank you, Miss Tiffany. Thank you. Yeah, we found each other in a unusual way.
I know, yeah. It's beautiful though, and that's how it happens, right?
That's right.
Okay. Wow. Yes. So the whole technique too of just to help the energy and activating. We can plant these crystal pillars wherever we go. Have you ever been drawn to a place and you don't know why? Then maybe you're there for a reason. And just walking around or even just standing still in one place and do that grounding technique, or just, okay, now I'm going to connect, I'm going to ground. And when you're grounding, you're connecting with the crystals of the earth in that area. So as we are doing that energetic exchange, really, as we are coming in and allowing that energy to go through our bodies, we are igniting the crystals in that area, right underneath our feet, underneath the floor. We are activating that area. So keep that in mind, because you may be drawn to some areas and you don't know why you're there. Just stand there, plant those pillars of crystals, that pillars of light. I know I've talked about that before, and this is how you can do it. Is just, if you are this pillar of light wherever you go, you are activating. You are helping the earth activating certain areas. So giving her that boost, So, oh yes, some light here. Thank you.
And a lot of people are drawn to the sacred sites, and oftentimes they feel like they're receiving the energy from the vortices, but they're also anchoring their energy and their frequency there, because a lot of the vortexes or the sacred sites, some of that energy has been diminished in some way by lower vibrational frequencies, and we're there to recharge it, to reactivate it. When we come together, I'm trying to remember this next time, but my friend Jared sent me information about Paul Solomon, who was a medium, and I think this is in the 80s, and he talked about the sacred sites and how we as the light workers not only were going to these sacred sites and how we were affecting the land, but how the land was affecting us. Yeah. I don't have that, but it was really important. I'm going to see if I can find that and read that the next time that we come together. Make a note of it. I can't recite it because my memory doesn't let me.
It's okay. No, I
just figured what you were saying, because he sent that piece to me, and it was really, really made sense. And Paul Solomon, you might Google him. His work was, I believe, it was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of Paul Solomon? Mm-hmm. I had not either.
But he's a UK, right?
I honestly don't remember. I don't know if he's even still alive, to be honest. But he has all of these channeled messages from decades ago. But one of them was about the sacred sites and how we are being affected by the sites, and how the sites we're affecting the sites as well through our energy. It was really, really powerful. I wish I could remember. I apologize, I can't remember the whole. But I'll find it.
Out of here. Paul Solomon. Yep, in the 80s, he was a professed psychic and seer who claimed to channel answers to questions asked of him from a metaphysical source. He considered himself a mystic. He was born in 1939. in Arkansas, and he died March 4th, 1994 in Virginia Beach. I was there. I didn't know him. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Anyway, I'll put a link in here if anyone's interested. And yes, we will definitely remind you. So you can
I want to share that. I apologize, I can't remember, but
okay,
like I said, it's triggered.
You can share that with us in April for the April one. So that will be great. And I'm going to share it over here in Rumble too, so that Maureen can enjoy that as well. So there you go. That's Paul Solomon. That's who she is referring to. So very good. Very interesting. All right. So I love learning something new every day. All right, so Joan says that she never misses Lee's Monday calls, and I listened to the recording several times. They are awesome. They are very, very amazing and awesome. And that website to register also takes you to your other classes, right? Because you do have other classes that you teach as well, and they are, I think, just equally powerful.
Yeah, we just finished up the 7 Sacred Flames class. We did that for 2 months. And I'm feeling to teach a emotional release workshop to help people release and unblock old emotions that have been trapped within us, because we're in a purification process. And a lot of us are dealing with old traumas of emotions that we don't even know where they're coming from. And oftentimes they're coming from our past lives. And these deep-seated or imprints of emotions or energies within us are just swirling within us and in some ways overtaking us. I know that I had a deep sense of loneliness for several years. It was extremely, extremely painful. And once I reactivated these crystal grids that I spoke of last week, this loneliness has dissipated tremendously, but I've had it for many years. And I know that it's not just from this lifetime, it has to do with previous lifetimes. But it was important to be able to clear these frequencies because they're bleed-throughs of old emotions that we're in need of clearing to be able to move into our light body and to hold our frequency at a purer level. So I'd really like to begin to share that information with others. So I'm being called to do that work. As a psychotherapist, that's my focus, is to help people to be emotionally healthy. And so many of us are dealing with emotions that are coming forth that are affecting us on a very deep level that we're not really sure where they're coming from. They're really, really deep and can be very painful.
Yeah. Yes, and that can be a lot what people are feeling. The pain right now too, as everything is surfacing, right? Everything, the more light coming in is driving any darkness or even shadow work. If we have we been ignoring our shadow work, it's coming to the surface, and it can be very overwhelming. And how to identify it. And so that would be a great class. Absolutely. Reverend Lee, I'd sign up. I'll run it.
You'll run it. You'll run it.
I just want to share Reverend Lee's website. I did put the links for those that are watching, but this show also is put onto many audio platforms as well. And so it's Reverend Lee's website is LEA Chapin, CHAPIN .com, LeeChapin.com, and Lee is LEA. Okay, so I'm going to spell that out, and then most of you should know my website is whitesagewoman.com. Just white sage, 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 whitesagewoman.com. And so that's how you can get in contact with us and let us know how much you enjoy these Reactivating Peace series, these shows. And it's we'll just keep going until they tell us it's done. I guess we just go with the flow. We're just like, okay, whatever. Whatever is needed.
Well, it feels like we're seeding energy through the wavelengths that through the vibration that we're sending out. That I see just waves and waves of energy being seeded into those that are listening or watching, or even maybe are not watching the full show, but these seeds of peace are being activated.
Love that. Yeah. Yes. Like over this. Are they dandelions that you blow and they go everywhere?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just saw that little.
Seeds of peace. And Lord knows we need it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's, again, so much trauma and so sadness and confusion.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question, Linnell. Question: in reincarnation, do you stay within your family or a few families? What's your feeling on that, Reverend Lee?
Well, I think you continue to reincarnate within your own soul family. So it may not be your immediate biological family as you know it, but that they are part of your soul group. And so you reincarnate within your soul group.
So, and your soul group can be big, that you can in one lifetime just some of the soul group and then another and some of the other soul groups. So it's not necessarily the same people all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we meet people and we think, well, do I know you? And, we may never ever see them again, but we feel very familiar. I just did a reading with a lady from New Zealand. We're talking about purification of emotions. She didn't really understand what was happening with her, and it was like a bleed through from another lifetime. But when I saw her, we did it over FaceTime, and I was like, I felt like I knew her. She seems so familiar. It's like, oh, so she's part of my soul family. Mm-hmm. So someone all the way in New Zealand, and I probably won't have much of a relationship with her. Maybe I'll read for her again. Maybe I won't. But it's like we reconnected again and said hello. And I assisted her in whatever capacity I was able to help assist her, during that time of her reading. But yeah, it's fun. Our soul groups are large. So there's not just limited to our biological family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm glad you asked too, Linnell. That's a great question. And so this is the time too where we are coming. Look, all of us, we found each other, right? We're soul families. We are reconnecting with our soul tribes, our soul families, and so it's because we know that we're coming together to get this work done. Light workers, we're finding each other, gravitate towards each other, and we know that we are stronger together.
Well, it was sort of odd how we met. Laura Romano, who I'd known from, many years ago, reached out for me to be a guest on her show. And then while I was waiting to do Laura's show, somehow something blurbed out of my mouth. Do you have, room for another show host? I wasn't expecting to say that. And that's how that got started a couple of years ago. And then I did the show for a year, and then I've, taken my leave for another year. But that was just so strange, how that was all divinely orchestrated as a part of the soul group that I was supposed to, find you through Laura, and hadn't talked to Laura for years, so it's like, how does this all happen? I'm still amazed.
I know, I am too. This is like the nudge. Okay, here. The thing is that even though you're not doing your show, we're still doing stuff together. So mm-hmm. It's just, we're yeah, I love that. It's like, I love those nudges. Sometimes they push, but I love that. And it's just how everything comes together. It is so beautiful. And so, and I'm so happy with my growth and with this tribe a few years now. Yes, absolutely. And it's all of us. Some are new in the sacred circle, and some of us we've been together for a while, and I'm grateful for all of that. And we all need each other. And so it just truly shows that we are one, and that this is, we're going to get through all of this.
And on my monthly Essene class, the Essenes bring forth the fact that we are part of the family of light, that we're all part of the family of light. And the Essenes are here to help us to remember who we are, and they're helping us to bring peace into our lives. So as we started this Reactivating Peace, perhaps maybe some of you would like to join our once a month messages from the Essenes. Maybe perhaps you feel like you've been a part of the Essene community, or Cathars, or part of the lineage of Mary Magdalene, Jeshua, the Holy Family. And so they're really here to bring that vibration of peace within us. So there's many avenues that the beings of light are really ramping up this energy, so for all of us to be at peace. So thank you, Tiffany, for creating this space tonight.
Aw, thank you. Thank you so much. And this has been wonderful, and what a great reminder to remember your divinity. And it's a daily of reactivating peace, polishing it off, shining it, right? Shining it brightly, giving it attention. And so I appreciate you, Tammy, and what you do as well. So thank you so much, everyone, each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And now we will be back together. Reverend Lee and I will be back together in April. Now we do have Easter, so that's on a Sunday. So we're only going to have one reactivating piece in the month of April, and that's going to be the 10th. All right, so mark that on your calendars, because in the 17th is Easter. So so we're just, and there's only four Sundays. So we're just going to have one show for April 10th. And I'll remind you about that reading, about, what you wanted to share with us. And you can give us updates, everyone who's watching now, give us updates on how it's been, and share with us. You can even message us and let us know how you are actively reactivating peace, how you are living that peaceful life on a daily basis and what you're doing. We would love that sharing, and we would share that on the show, the next one. Okay. So thank you so much, each and every one of you. Again, sign up for Reverend Lee's class for tomorrow morning. All right. The teachings. You will not regret that. And we will be sitting in Sacred Circle tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time, for those that can do that. So thank you so much, Reverend Lee.
Thank you.
Blessings to each and every one of you. We love you all. Good night.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Share your appreciation to our show hosts by submitting a testimonial for your favorite Goldylocks Productions show.